welcome back. This is part 2. You haven't missed anything. Actually, they've been taking their time. I'm just going to fold this. It's a okay hand, but it doesn't run that well, and against a raise and a re-raise, I think it was. It's probably not a good battle to go with 2, 3, 4, 7. Sorry, that was my phone. They can wait. Okay, again, I'm just going to take the easy route. I don't want to get involved. This is Omaha High at the end of the day. If you want to gamble for nut hands, then I would prefer going in with high cards generally. I would have hit 3 of a kind. Still any king and any other high card makes a straight. He hit a flush on the river. Okay, I'm going to play this not because of the suits, but because of the cards. You've got 2, 4, 6, 7. It's a nice spread of the low cards. If it's a low flop, we had a high flop last time. Well, it's not a low flop, so not ideal. But had a low flop come down, it would have been a nice place to be in. Okay, not chasing a flush when there's, full house possibilities, higher flush possibilities, etc. Playing as tight as I can, as tight as I can be bothered to play, and it seems to be working at the moment. Okay, I would have had 3 of a kind. Probably good. You never know with flushes though. It's so easy in Omaha to make a flush, even if it's just a low flush. Or when I say to make a flush, it's so easy for someone on the table to have a flush is what I mean. It's not easy. It's no easier to make a flush, but it's very, very common that someone will have a flush if there's a flush draw out there. Okay, I like these hands. Again, I was saying before, it's a spread. They've got a nice spread of the middle range. Unfortunately, he folded, but it's a nice hand to try and hit a flop with. You've often got some very nice draws and good nut possibilities if it's a mid-range board or possibly a full house. I would have flopped a 2 pair with a gut shot. It's not a bad hand, but having 3 of a suit obviously isn't ideal. It's nicer to have 2 of a suit, or double suited, like this hand. 2, 1 suit, a pair, ace queen. It's a fairly good starting hand. It is very flop dependent though, which is why they've put it weak. They've classed this hand as weak. I'm still going to play. I want to just have a little stab at hitting a flop. If I don't connect, it's just fold. Well, that's better than I could have hoped for. I've got a gut shot, straight draw, flush draw, 2 overs. It's not bad. This is saying more times than not I will show up with a flush. This guy's been betting pot a lot, probably wants to fold, so I'm just going to min raise, see if he really has a hand. If not, he'll fold. If he does have a hand, he'll probably call or re-raise. Okay, that's helped my hand. I've got more outs now. Still got the flush back up. He might have a better flush draw, obviously. He could have a straight by now, or he could have a high straight draw. I would have thought he has like Jack 4, Jack 2. But I think another big bet is the way. I've got to put the pressure on him. If he hasn't got anything, I want him to fold. I don't want him to draw out or think that his 2 pair's good. I want him to think I've got him dominated, so that in times where he does have a weak hand and he's just floating hoping I will fold, he's suddenly got a massive decision and is much less likely to try and bluff. And at the end of the day, once I went all in there, he couldn't call unless, well, he could, but there, it wouldn't make much logical sense for him to call if he hadn't hit the flop in some fairly monster way. So although it's a bit risky, I do like that play there. Okay, that's a good flop, so I'm just going to check it down, hope it develops my way. I think I have to call one street. If a club comes, yeah, well, club didn't come. I think this hand's pretty much over. Yeah, I mean the indicator's saying 4% of the time I'm likely to win this hand. It's not really not very likely you're going to win with one pair, like a small pair in Omaha, like you may in Hold'em. Top pair is pretty much minimum, and anything after that, is expected. Right up to the straight flush and the royal. Okay, I'm calling this. I was gonna say mainly because of the spread. Okay. Well, if a 9 comes, then a queen king beats me. I'm not drawing to a nut straight. It's saying I'm not even that likely to hit a straight. Maybe 1 in 5 times I'll show up with a straight. I think that's an easy fold. Well, that would have been a great card for me. Don't know whether I would have gone all in. It was a good fold. He had trips. Oh, I would have hit a flush on the river. That's unfortunate. Still, I think it was the correct fold. I was dominated and not knowing the turn, which actually helped me loads. If the turn had been a blank, which was more likely, then yeah, I would have been stuffed. So yeah, I think in those situations you can't really think back and think, well, I should have definitely called there. I mean, you could have called there, but it would have been calling to see a turn and then re-evaluating rather than calling because it's always the best thing to do. Certainly if you did it all the time in that spot, then you're not going to make money.